Hello and happy Tuesday evening to you guys. So I hope you had a great day. It was a beautiful day. My son said it got a little hot out there when he was working, but I didn't really have to go outside too much today. Chased after the guys a little bit, brought them some dinner and such, but otherwise caught up on stuff, which if you are a regular of my stamping friend group, then you probably got an email from me as well. So and today's highlights are 2 new kits dropped, and so one of them is a Halloween like kit. It makes 15 cute little treat boxes. So those are cute, and then the other one is like a delicate like birthday kit with some foil accents and such. So some really neat kit products that dropped today, and then a whole bunch of new online exclusives. Speaking of online exclusives, the Party Piggy dropped, like it launched a couple months ago, and I really haven't shown you guys anything too much with it, but I wanted to show you this. And so this was a project from a recent class, and it's a shaker card because the Party Piggy bundle can be used as a shaker card or not. So I'm going to show you the version that is the shaker card, and maybe down the road then I'll show you a different version of not a shaker card but using the same bundle. So let me get my camera turned around here for you. I'm going to try and get a little bit closer, not that close tonight, just because oops, let me get it tight, just because there's going to be a lot going on. I'm trying to get it a little bit closer. I'm trying to use both the tripod to get it closer and kind of the focusing part too of the camera. Okay, so I think this will be good. We'll go. All right, so here it is. Like I said, a fun shaker card. So how cute is that to put in the pig's tummy? And just a very cute thing. And so when I saw that this was going to be an online exclusive, I knew I had to go after it, because for those of you that know we farm, we also raise about 6,000 hogs a year too. And so I thought, well, what better stamp set for us than to get some pigs going here. So since this is an online exclusive, I just kind of wanted to show you the stamp set. Here I am so proud of you. How fun is that? Like, you could make a fun graduation card, even though that's past, but just coming up. But I mean, you could even put that with a birthday card too. I would put that on my grandkids' birthday card. Let's party. What's shaken bacon? I love that. Happy birthday to you. And then just fun little elements to go along with that for the images. All right. So that's the stamp set part of the bundle. And then the dies. So the dies come in like a little half pack this time, but still a nice arrangement here of dies. So we've got the body of the pig, the head of the pig, so I'll be using those. And then the circle is what is going to be cut out of the pig's body to make the shaker card. And then we've got a hat, which I'm not going to use this time, and then the little flags there. So basically using the whole set except for the hat this time around. So let me start from scratch here. So that's the Party Piggy bundle online exclusive. So my base today is going to be Lost Lagoon. I'm going to give that a good score here, or fold down with my phone folder. So Lost Lagoon opening this way. And then what I did from the Everyday Happiness designer series paper, that has been around, gosh, since at least spring. I was kind of hesitant to cut it down from 12 by 12 because the back side makes a nice beach scene. We've kind of got some browns going into golds, going into blues, and I thought, you know what, I kind of like this little splatter. I call it like the swiping polka dot. Like if you had polka dots and it was fresh ink and went like that, it would kind of just smear it like that a little bit. Hi there, Ronnie. Good to see you on here. So this is cut 4 by 5 1/4, which is a normal matting size for next layer on top of my card base. So before I put that down, I'm going to give it some adhesive on the back. And what I did a little different is I kind of offset it a little bit. So instead of going straight up and down, I put it at a little bit of an angle. And so before I press down on things, I always make sure that my corners aren't going off my card at any point. So once I know that they're all within there, then I put it down. So you can see it's a little bit wider here and there. Some people like that. And it's like the Party Piggy, he's going to be off at an angle too. So I didn't want to do too much, but some people said, if I'm making this card at class, can I just put it straight? Because that's what they prefer. And that's totally fine too. So, yeah, and I love seeing people just experiment on their own things as well. So the next step that I'm going to do is putting like a double mat of basic white and Lost Lagoon. This is 3 by 4, and so the matting size would be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 here. So what I'm going to do is to kind of continue that theme of being offset. I'm just going to kind of give this a little bit like that. Now, if this goes off a little bit from one corner or another corner, that's going to be just fine because this is going to be on the front part of the card. The reason I don't like it on the edges going off the card base is because then it gets tougher to put it in the envelope. And now I'm just going to put this at an angle on here like so. So now we've kind of got the base. So this is the very easy part, okay? So now we're going to get to the pig. All right. And because this is a little bit larger image, I'm going to pull over my Stampin' Mat. So anytime I have photopolymer stamps that are larger, I like to pull out my mat. My glass mat does a great job, don't get me wrong, but my stamping mat is much better at getting a really good image. So I'm going to stamp out the body here of the pig like so. Okay, that kind of got messy. I know I pressed down too far, but another thing that I want to point out, there is a spar, and I'm considering almost like taking my scissors and cutting that because the head's going to go down and cover that up anyway when I do that, so it's okay. But I'm like, I really don't need that on there, but yet it maybe supports the rest of the stamp too. So some people had said, I can't get that to stamp out. And I said, you know, you really don't need it to stamp out. Okay, so there's the cute little piggy face. We've got that. And then I think we can do our die cutting. Okay, let's bring this over. And I tell you what I'm going to do first, we're going to need an extra piece of the body because it's a shaker card. So I'm going to start this. It doesn't need to be stamped at all. We just need that kind of as the backdrop for the shaker card. So that one's going to go through just one time all by itself like that. And now we can cut out. It'll make sense as we start to build here. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Probably should have left a little bit more space. I don't know if I'll be able to do this at the same time or not. Let's see. I think it's saw it move, but I didn't know if I was just being too, yeah, I think I'm just going to do them separately, but you know what? As long as we're cutting, I'm going to put that circle there in the body. I'm gonna pop that up a little bit. Right, hopefully that black doesn't show. We'll see. It just goes to show that I can make mistakes as well. Okay, so we've got the face there, and then we've got that circle cut out that we needed to cut out from the body. And now I'm gonna come back and just gonna do that, and now we're gonna run through that bottom part of his body. Actually, I might just stamp there we go. So you can see that with the circle cut out of the middle. I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp. I have a little scrap piece here, the flag, as long as I'm die cutting things. I don't know if you guys have certain steps that you like to do, but there's these flags here, and I'm just going to stamp that out on my scrap and then die cut those. Sometimes I like having everything all done so that I can kind of do the next step and then assemble all together. Some people like to do one step and get that going on their card and then come back and then add like the next level pieces and such too. And there's really no right or wrong. It's kind of preference or kind of how your brain works, or sometimes it depends on if you're making more than one card at a time too, how you want to do things that way. Hello, Renee. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so now we've got these little party flags there. Okay, so now we're all done with the machine. Okay, so next what I need to do is grab both the piggy face and the body and do a little bit of coloring. So I'm taking from the neutrals lineup the SU400, and I'm just going to take and color in here by the ears. I'm not doing any blending because I don't think I mentioned I stamped the Memento Black ink right on Petal Pink just so that we wouldn't have to do as much coloring, because this is a pretty sizable pig. I don't know what I was kind of expecting, but when it came, I think the pig was larger than I thought. Like I said, not a bad thing, just kind of took me by surprise a little bit that it was this large, but it kind of makes it nice because we need a sizable circle to get some of that shaker element to that. Okay, so let's see, we got all of that. And then next I'm going to take the Petal Pink, which is the same color as this. I'm going to take the dark Petal Pink and just go over. So we're taking the same color of ink as cardstock, just kind of going over that a little bit, just to kind of highlight that. And then up in the ear too, I'm just going to kind of add like a little triangle there. And I think I might go over this a little bit too by the leg. I don't think I did on my sample, but I think I was thinking when I made my sample of doing that. Okay, so let me hold that up so you can kind of see that a little bit better there, like that. Okay, so we've got that colored in, and then next what I'm going to do is put this, like I said, I have 2 of these, and now you can see why. All right, so let me grab, and these are online exclusive products too, small circle shaker domes. So this die out of the Piggy Party Piggy was meant to go with these. So we've got that, and there's 12 in a box. Yes, I was just going to double check on that. And then you can see that there's this little ring around here that is adhesive. I sometimes like to just get it peeled up a little bit, there we go, to start. And that way when I fill it, I don't have to juggle the little pieces and end up spilling those. So when this all came out, these came out too, loose shaker elements. And so these are fun. There's like some stars, some little bits, some little circles, and they're all kind of iridescent. Years ago, Stampin' Up! Even had these fancy frost sequins. I don't think it was too long ago, but I kind of like the pinks and the blues, and it kind of had that Lost Lagoon color too. So I let people choose if they wanted just the pure elements like shown in there, or if we should maybe add some of these too, not exclusively, but kind of mix the two, because the colors do actually go together, and it kind of matches, like I said, the project. Now people ask how much to put in here, and I always say, well, this is the deal. You want to make sure that it looks full and fun in a fun way, but I said you also kind of want to make sure that you have the element of being able to shake it. So if it's too full, then you kind of have lost your space where it might shake. So I'm just going to put in about that much, if you can see. And then this is going to fit in there like so. And I don't want to tip it too much to show you, but you kind of get the drift there. And then I'm going to pull this off, and I can't just put it down and flat because obviously that's where the circle is. But then I'm going to carefully come back with this piece that is the identical die cut, I'm gonna line that up with the legs. I'm pretty slow to let this finger come out because I want everything to line up well before I press it to stick. Because if it doesn't stick well, then all of those elements are gonna kind of come out. So I'm gonna go, oops, there we go, we've got it. Okay, so now it is sticking to that very, very well. Okay, so I when I was doing class, oh, one did sneak out, you guys, either that or it was when I was filling it up. So when I did class, I said, you know, you might want to take just like a little glue dot, whoops, and then I drop it, a little drop of liquid glue here, just on the little things. And I had people put that on ahead of time. And I think if I do this at a class again, hi Diane, I would say like get this part going and then do this, because otherwise you're trying to mess with something that is already sticky and you don't want to get the glue on your cute little rounded dome either, but you kind of need that to stick together like that too. So now we've got the shaker, and sometimes it'll stick because of static, and that's okay too. So now we've got that going, and we can put this now on our card base. I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this and pull over my card base here, and I'm just going to kind of set that here and set it aside because I think I want to do my stamping next for the sentiment. You know, the pig's cool and all, so the what's shaken bacon, I just love it. So what I'm going to do here is just stamp that out on this strip of basic white. Let me measure that. I think it's, oh, it's not, I couldn't remember if it was 3/4 of an inch or 1 inch. It's that one marker space just in between. So that 7/8, that's what it is. So that's the length of, or the width of that there. And then I just like to cut it down. And the reason why I wanted to do this next is because if I have my pig down on my card too far, we're not going to have enough space. So I'm just going to kind of make sure, yep, that's going to fit. I'm going to put him at an angle, and then I'm going to take some dimensionals and pop up the head here on this cute little pig. And I don't want to go down too low by its neck because that's where I want it to overlap. Normally I'd want it to overlap, but remember I have my ink sin going on there where I accidentally got too much of the black ink going. So I kind of want to cover that up. And for the most part I did, but it doesn't look too bad because naturally pigs are a little dirty and they're meant and known to be that way. All right, so that leaves us some space to work on the little flag here. I joked at the class that I recently did that these flags look like the Facebook posts that say marked safe by, and it can be like a hurricane. Some of them are funny, some of them are truly natural disasters. And so, but that's what these flags remind me for some reason. So I'm just going back with that same petal pink color because that coordinates. I'll start with the dark on the top there just because the artist had put some little sketch marks in there, and that normally tells me darker area when they do that. So light and dark of the petal pink. And then this is cloud cover. I liked this just to have a little bit different color than the Lost Lagoon. The Lost Lagoon got a little too dark for me, so I'm starting with the light, and then at the top I'm going to do the darker of the two markers in the cloud cover there. So we've got that. Okay. Excuse me. And then I'm just going to grab one dimensional for this and just put it behind there. And I think I am going to do a glue dot. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I just allow it to just tuck underneath, which is fine too. So now this is going to just tuck underneath there as if the pig's holding on, but now we know that that's not going to move, although having that one dimensional up here makes this appear popped. But I like how it just tapers down, it tucks underneath there. So if you didn't have it glue dotted, that would be fine because the dimensional will hold it into place. Now, before I adhere the What's Shaken Bacon, I'm going to put some dimensionals on there as well. So I'm just going to line up about 3 of those. These tops are coming off kind of as I put them across. Oh, actually, before I put it on and do the dimensionals, I wanted to take my petal pink marker and just over my words, What's Shaken Bacon. You can do this with the light petal pink or the dark petal pink because neither one of them are too dark of a color. This is another reason why I love my glass mat, is because I can just kind of put it on there and then gently pry it up. So I felt like that kind of connected the card a little bit. Yes, Ronnie, the glass mat is still available. So sometimes when a glass mat or product like this, like especially if I'm put on the spot, I'll be like, oh gosh, is that in the annual catalog? Is it an online exclusive now? So the search feature on the website has gotten so much better than it used to. So just when you log into the website or go to Stampin' Up's website, in the search bar, just type in glass mat and it'll pop up. And I'm pretty sure it's $60 and it comes with the nice little chamois and the little like silicone mat and everything too. So yeah, it's still available. It's a great product. I love mine, and when I go to retreats and such, I pack this to go along, because sometimes when you go to a retreat, you're never sure what type of tabletop you're going to have either. Sometimes they look great until you start to get working with your things, and sometimes stamping on different tables just aren't always the best, right? So great questions. I'm glad that you asked. All right, so we've got the front almost all done, and I was kind of torn because like there's, you know, the shaker part going on, and that can be fun, but I still kind of wanted to fill in those white spots a little bit. And so the dots that I used yesterday, the muted palette dots, they really, I thought, fit the occasion for today too, because this is kind of sparkly. I don't want to take away from them. So these being, like the packaging says, muted, it's like perfect. So I'm taking the petal pink here and then kind of the lighter blue here, which is the cloud cover. Oops, that one just tipped over. Must have got it loose and then it shook out. Okay. And then at the top, I'm just going to do kind of the opposite, a large cloud cover up here, and then come back with a small of the petal pink kind of going up there. So adding those same colors that make up the card and just kind of fills in those spots. Now for the inside, I thought this would be just a fun birthday card. So part of that stamp set, happy birthday to you, just like it says. Nothing quirky about that at all. So I've got happy birthday to you. They didn't do any play on words for that. But I love the cute font. Isn't that just fun? Love it. So that's going to kind of just finish that card. I'm not doing any images in the inside because I feel like there is a lot going on the front of the card. So I felt like this is good and just nice enough to do that. All right. So there you have it. Party Piggy bundle. It's an online exclusive. There you go. So I'll flip this around here. And I'll see kind of how my time goes for tomorrow. If I can squeeze in one more before the holiday weekend. Maybe you guys are like already gone for the holiday and think, you know what, like crafting is not on my radar, but I always like to get some ideas out there, so then when you are caught up and want to check back and see what I've put together for live inspiration, then it's already here for you. So thank you so much for watching. Always reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.